Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Y Gaming, back again with some more Survive the Nights. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all good and have had a good week. It is finally the weekend. That means it's DEVBLOG time. Today we have DEVBLOG 60, which is 1.14 preview. It's got a whole host of funky stuff, horde improvements and fortification tweaks, tweaks to the fire and weather. So there's some good stuff in here. Some very good stuff. But before we get into it, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video. I greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it. We've been working mostly on player reported issues and general game improvements for 1.14. That being said, there are actually some rather large changes coming, and we'll discuss some of them below. As always, keep up to date with everything we're doing by checking in on the changelog or asking right on the Discord. Once again, all of those links are in the description below, as are the links to my socials if you want to check them out too. Horde improvements and fortification tweaks. Some big changes are coming to Hordes in Survive the Nights. Right now, be prepared, people. I read this bit. I thought it was fucking awesome. They have some really cool things planned for the Hordes, which I'm quite excited for. I quite like this. And it's going to... And you know, we've done a lot of series taking on the Hordes. And to be honest, it's... We've smashed them pretty much every single time. But with these changes, this is going to make things a lot more difficult, and I like that. So, we've wrapped up in Horde changes. You'll find fortification improvements as well. Our original concept with Survive the Nights was focused heavily on structure fortifications. The original spark and idea for the game itself stemmed from Call of Duty's Nazi Zombies mode. James and myself, JB, were fixated on this mode. The ability to add planks to structures, the feeling of holding down a building, repairing entry points, and keeping the hordes at bay while doing our best to kill them and survive. This is still super appealing to the team and something we aim to deliver in the upcoming builds. There are a couple of core changes in the works, and the player will now find as they advance through the zombie hordes that not only do they increase in numbers, but their strength does too. We've made all the fortifications stronger, around 3 times stronger than the previous implementation. Increasing zombie difficulty aims to alleviate the issues where players take advantage of pinch points. Pinch points like staircases and narrow halls. This renders the entire game loop useless, and it also makes fortifications pointless. See, I do beg to differ there, because as cool as it is, you know, you get into a choke point. For me, the reason I do that is because that is, in my mind, a genuine strategic way of doing it, and would be the best way to hold off masses of zombies. You know, pull them into one confined space where you can take them out at your will, and that way it just sort of thins the herd out a little bit and makes things a lot easier. So I think a lot of players will still find a way to do that. But it depends really how strong the fortifications are. Towards the start, I did use fortifications to funnel zombies to where I wanted to, but then it was taking a lot of time to craft those fortifications. So I sort of moved away from that and then used actual buildings themselves alongside fortifications. And it does work really well when you've got a nice balance between the two. Ow, you little... My cat just bit my foot. Little sod. When you've got a nice change between the two, it works really well. The upcoming improvements aim to fix these issues. We made fortifications useful again, and players can now take full advantage of boarding up a structure, and doing so will actually hold the zombies back. Zombies will not instantly gain access, and the player should really have an opportunity to stand their ground. We've also upped ammo spawns, making shooting to kill way more viable. Along with these changes, zombie hordes will no longer be skippable. We never intended them to be. STN has always been about fighting the zombies, and now the player will be able to properly do so. Brilliant. I like that a lot. Skipping the hordes, I don't know how they're going to handle that, whether they're going to completely remove that option so you can't run away from them anymore, or whether they'll sort of change the whole thing, so even on the easier difficulty, the hordes will still be there. I think it would be better if they just removed the bit where you can run away. So obviously the players that do want to get into it and learn slowly without having to face the horde can jump on the easy mode and not have that threat there constantly. But we'll see what they do with that. Next up, they have made a load of improvements to fire. We also have a little video for this as well. We found via feedback and simply watching players that our UI can occasionally be unnecessarily cumbersome. James has spent some time this week improving fire mechanics across the board, hearths, campfires, barrels and stoves. He's completely removed the UI and a need for the UI, and the new system is far more fluid and simple. The player only has to aim at a fire source and press E to add wood. There's a little video here, let's check that out. Okay, I see. Alright, so we got the wood, and then... Oh, I see, it's just pressing E and it's adding it, and it's coming up with the burn time. That's nice, I do like that. That's quite smooth. What's it going to be like with cooking, though? We're still going to have to open up the menu to place all the fire and stuff, which is fine. And the grill. And then still place the boxes and stuff. Alright. That's fair enough. I like that. That's quite cool. We plan on expanding on these UI improvements, removing the need for UI in other game machines and cleaning up, making any UI simple and easy to understand. Which so far, I think they've been doing a really, really good job at that. Making, obviously, the new start menu so people that are coming in can... understand things a lot easier. I like what they're doing. They're making it a lot simpler. When you first start, it really is a difficult game, especially when I started playing it. I started playing it about 3 years ago, I think. And it really was hard back then. You literally jump in and find a camp, you've got to find your way to a campfire, which you spawn nowhere near one. And yeah, it was very difficult. So it's good that they're tweaking that. Hopefully that keeps players engaged a lot more. So next up, they have improved rain and weather performance, which is alright. That's good. They've improved it a lot already. As you can see here in the background, this is the new rain and weather performance. There's new rain particles. Pretty cool. Andre has spent time this week tweaking and improving both the look and the weather effects and their performance on clients and servers. Rain particles have been updated, optimized. Rain emission on lower quality settings have been adjusted for better performance, among other changes. The results are rather pleasing, and the rain particles themselves look far more realistic and impact performance significantly less. That's good, especially for the guys. Especially if you're playing solo, it's very RAM intensive. And it takes quite a bit of hardware to run it nicely and get it looking good. So, I mean, the more they can optimize it, the better, really. Especially for the lower end PCs. And finally, we have something that's very, very good. We did touch upon it ever so slightly in the last devblog, and that is placement crashing. Many of you have created tickets for this one. Currently, in 1.13, you run into a client crash involving item placement. This was caused by a bad loop, and a continual placement should cause no further issue in 1.14. So basically, for me personally, I could only place 3 items down at once, and then I'd have to go back into my menu. If I did any more than 3 with certain items, it would just kill it completely, and the game would shut down, and I'd have to proper shut everything down because it wouldn't work. It completely ballsed up, and then in Steam it was still open. Hopefully they fixed that, so that's really, really good. It was mainly when I was doing the spikes, that's the one. Spikes and barbed wire, but I'm pretty sure it was with a lot of stuff as well. But I'm glad they're on that. Makes things a lot easier, and it'll make it a lot quicker as well. Obviously, going into the menu and then back out doesn't take that long, but when you're placing like lots and lots of fortifications down, it does add up pretty damn quick. And they hope to have 1.14 out the first Friday in February, and hope to continue a monthly update cycle from here on out. Thank you for continued support. We're working on issues you're finding, so please keep reporting any bugs and making any game suggestions you can think of. Please share any questions or comments in our Discord. So, the links for all of their socials are in the description below. Do go check them out. 100%. If you want any questions in Discord, if you want any questions, drop them down below as well. I'll be happy to help you if I can. And if you haven't checked the game out, definitely 100% do it. It's not pricey, and for the price you pay, you will get your money's worth. It is an amazing game. It's a lot of fun. So definitely check it out. But for today, ladies and gentlemen, I've been YG and Awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.